yesterday. So if you didn't catch it, I would highly encourage you to watch and share with friends. In this program today, it's going to be a little bit different, but I still think really exciting. We're going to get a sneak peek behind the scenes of Humanities team, social media, Stream Plus, SEO, and more. And if you're joining us, just joining us, go ahead and put your name in the chat and where you're connecting from. And I'm Carissa Sims, live event host with Humanities Team. And I'd like to start off today with 3 deep breaths. We did that yesterday just to get into our heart space. So if you'd like, you can close your eyes and however you feel most comfortable, feet on the floor, feeling grounded in this moment. And go ahead and take a deep diaphragmatic breath. Breathe in deep through the nose, all the way up to the heart, feeling your heart and release. And again, second breath, breathe in and release. Really letting go, being here and now. And again, one more breath in, feeling your essence and release. And coming into this moment, opening your eyes. So happy to be with you all today. And just to share a little bit about Humanities Team, we are a global nonprofit organization focused on helping people throughout the world awaken to the interconnectedness or oneness of everything in the universe so they can embody that awareness in every aspect of their lives. Everything we do and provide as an organization, our mission, our Changing Humanity's Future initiative, our free programs, masterclasses, revolutionary streaming platform, Global Oneness Summit, and more are here to help us create a sustainable Earth and flourish at every level. And I want to introduce our host today, Steve Farrell, and then he'll introduce our other guests. Co-founder and worldwide executive director of Humanities Team, a global leader in conscious living, Steve has dedicated over 2 decades to awakening humanity to our deeper identity and the sacred interconnectedness of all life. His teachings blend spiritual wisdom, science, and grounded life experience, empowering people everywhere to step into their higher potential. And he has a new masterclass on Stream Plus, which is so wonderful. Welcome, Steve.
Carissa, thank you. Thank you for the beautiful opening. Thank you for the generous introduction. And a big welcome to all of you here that are gathered and others that are watching live out on social media, people watching the recording. So, your beloved friends, thank you for taking the time to be here with us. We're all of us in Humanities Team, those of us that are doing the work behind the scenes. This is a calling for us. It's not a career, and we get up every day and just bring our very best to this work. And we're a family with you. That's why I share beloved friends, because we wouldn't be where we are here. We're almost 23 years old to the day, by the way. We were founded in June 2003 in Wilsonville, Oregon, with Neil Donald Walsh. And almost to the day, now it's been 23 years. Of course, we're a 501c3 nonprofit. And wow, I mean, have just made such great progress. This is what we're going to actually take you through here today, the progress. We're going to take you into the data. We're kind of behind the scenes when we talk about Google Analytics, our own dashboard for our campaigns, our SEO, our social media. We're going to go down into all of that data so you get a clear view of when we say we're performing well, you don't have to take it from us. You're going to see the data that supports that. So, and today is kind of a second part to the program yesterday. Yesterday, some of you were probably with us, and we had all of these inspirational leaders, board of advisors that were with us, where we were just sharing from the heart. and inviting you to partner even more closely with us. You're here now because you're partnered with us. And what we're doing here yesterday and today is inviting you to partner even more closely with us. And if our work resonates, to financially contribute, donate, provide the fuel for us to get to this really massively big vision and plan that we were given. I know you've seen this and heard this over the years, where a few years ago we got the download that in 2040, and that's just 15 years from now, that there would be a tipping point. Uh, the tipping point into conscious living, or what Teilhard de Chardin called the omega point. If you follow his work, where he said evolution is not a straight line, it's sort of right left, but it is constantly going up, moving forward, unfolding into a better, more complex future, a more healthy future. And the day will come, he said. He didn't live to see it. He was a Jesuit priest in France, but of an omega point where creator and created know themselves as one. So, and that's what's happening. I want to share, though, as we get started, um, the truth of kind of today's world too, because I don't want this to sound like it's just we're not really seeing the challenges out in the world. Because I myself, when I get up and look at the news or look out the window, uh, there can be kind of a sense of a loss of control, I'll say, where there's just so much going on that is so challenging in extreme weather, in climate change, in political realms, in division, in immigration, etc. That if I weren't really doing my work, I could feel a loss of control. I could feel a spiraling into an uncertain, challenging future that would gravely concern me when I consider the kids on this planet and future generations. Okay, but what I want to invite you to do here is, as we know, this is what conscious living is our attention is our intention, right? There's absolutely nothing gained from worry. So this is why we're here, is we've now become the largest global streaming community and platform for consciousness raising masterclasses in education. And it's a community where we're journeying together consciously to this 2040 tipping point, to this sustainable and flourishing earth. And as you're going to see in the data today, we're making great progress. We're a mature 23-year-old nonprofit organization with gifted leaders, with partners like you all, and we can absolutely do this. In fact, I want to say that the most underreported thing on the planet, in my opinion, is this consciousness raising activity that's going on. It's not in the news, as we know, anywhere. I don't read except for in very guppy, small pond kind of ways of this notion that we're not separate from each other. Actually, science, of course, is affirming this that quantum physics is affirming that we actually are all one, right? Olivia Hanson's on this call. She's a huge. She's got her short videos that she brought to the Illuminate Film Festival and had all these award winners, and she's behind the whole movement at the United Nations now to put Global Oneness Day on the United Nations event calendar. We're in our 16th year celebrating Global Oneness Day, but it's time now to elevate it to the United Nations, so that in regions of the world and at the United Nations, just like Earth Day, just like International Day of Peace, that we celebrate our oneness, right? And as we know, because we talk about this all the time in humanities team, is there's a causal factor here that's behind the challenges for us individually and collectively. And that causal factor is the very simple thing that almost all of us grew up with, which is this eyes deceiving us thing, this optical delusion thing, as Einstein called it, where, I'm separate from you. I'm separate from the planet. I'm separate from the God source. And I'm alone and kind of in my anxiety, right? Or worse. So even though science is now affirming it just simply isn't true. So we created this, we called it the Galileo moment that, the Earth wasn't the center of the universe. Galileo brought that in. Well, separation isn't true. It's a fiction. We're deeply interconnected, interrelated, and interdependent. We're a part of this consciousness with a capital C, right? We are all one. And it's important now, just like it was in Galileo's time. We wouldn't have modern satellite communication security broadband if we had stayed in what was called the geocentric mode, where the Earth was the center of the universe. They call it heliocentric, where the Earth is actually seen as part of a solar system, not at the center of the universe at all. Likewise, ultimate reality is that we aren't separate. This is the causal factor for so many challenges. So, and this is why we're so passionate with you all for elevating what conscious living is, which brings in our daily practice, with breathing and connecting with the God of our understanding and connecting with each other, connecting with the earth, right? That's a part of our self with a capital S. Is the earth is in there. It's a part of us and has its soul, right? So we're doing great work. I don't want to go on because I want to go over to the data here that you all came to see. But I want to invite you you're already partnered with us. That's why you're here, to partner even more closely with us and provide the fuel, which is, the financial resources that help us to continue to expand to 100,000 subscribers, to Global Oneness Day in the United Nations calendar, to providing resources for our 69 country coordinators who right now are all volunteer. We don't even reimburse expenses. They just come on and support us in the countries. So we're raising funds for all of these things and invite you to partner more closely, to support this work, to keep it moving forward, to make the tipping point happen in 2040. And then when we transition, to say, hooray, job well done. We know ourselves as part of the one, and there is a sustainable, flourishing planet for our kids and future generations. Okay, and that's where we're going. That's our work. So I thank you for being here. We're now going to just go right into the program. We have a very short 4-minute video that we just completed in the last few days. You might have seen our impact report, and if you haven't, we'd be happy to send it to you, and it's a PDF or in the mail. This is a little 4-minute video that kind of gets to some of that important information in the impact report. And then we're going to go to the leaders here that are going to take you through the data, and I'll introduce them as they come on. So here's the video up next. We live in a world where we consider ourselves separate from everyone and everything around us. We are all literally self-centered, meaning we think of ourselves as the center of our own individual worlds. We see this reflected in the way we treat each other, our resources, and the earth itself. Ideologies divide us into the right and left, the haves and the have-nots, us and them. We are suffering from an epidemic of loneliness because people don't connect directly with each other in the physical world. Our self-centered world is full of fractures, and it is breaking apart around us. It's time to rebuild that world into one where we are whole again. Whole as individuals, whole as communities, whole as an interconnected and interdependent physical, mental, and spiritual ecosystem that grows and thrives together as one. The idea that at the quantum level we are deeply interconnected is disrupting the spiritual and scientific worlds. Yet the idea is not new. It has been woven into religion and philosophy for centuries. Our perception of being separate is an illusion that we continue to perpetuate for ourselves, which means we can also perpetuate the truth that we are not the center of our own individual worlds, because science is affirming that real separation is a fiction, that we are not required to do and be everything, but each of us is called to do something in service to the world around us. We are all part of a greater whole, and that interconnection, that oneness, is where we go to work in acts of service to create holy connection, a representation of the divine within us all. This is what we call conscious living. The idea that because we are all one, everything we do affects every part of the whole at every level. This whole is what we strive for at Humanities Team. We realize that we are currently in the minority. However, the more people who recognize their individual selves as part of this whole, the more prevalent the idea becomes. And the faster the disparate of the many becomes one, becomes whole. Our Changing Humanity's Future initiative is focused on achieving our mission of making conscious living prevalent worldwide by the year 2040. Tens of thousands of people choose this path every day. We are a community gathering place for them to learn more about conscious living and support each other in our collective efforts. To that end, we have created Humanity Stream Plus, the largest transformational community and educational streaming platform available today, with a library of more than 250 consciousness-raising masterclasses and programs, which we add to every week. Our 2024 monthly platform revenue has grown 10% over 2023, so we are on a path of steady growth. Our recent annual Global Oneness Summit presented 70 free panels from 144 speakers, educators, and entertainers over the course of 6 days. It was attended by more than 200,000 viewers from all over the world. We continue to expand our reach on social media through organic posting and paid ads, promoting our innovative masterclasses. Our podcast has been downloaded over 400,000 times, and we add new episodes regularly. We have a vibrant email list that grows every day, where people can find information about our free and paid offerings, as well as inspirational messages from our founders. We have significantly expanded our donor base, which has put our organization on a more stable footing. Our progress is notable, but there is always more to be done. The ripple effect we have started flows out across the world. Everyone it touches is welcomed into our movement. The more people who join us, the more powerful those ripples become as they spread out across the earth, showing all who choose to ride the wave how to become healthy parts of the whole. Thank you for being part of Humanity's Team, for living in your unique mission and purpose, for being a ripple in your own community to reach out and help others join our wave of conscious living. Welcome to being part of the whole that is creating positive change, leading to a sustainable and flourishing world. Okay, thank you to Jim Gray, who is our producer here, for playing that video. Thank you very much. And let me introduce Brandon Clayman. So let me share, because this isn't in his introduction, Brandon has been part of Humanities Team since 2003. So back in our founding, he was in our planning sessions and our global council meetings and these things. So that's a long time, right? 23 years. Brandon's been a huge contributor to Humanities Team. So let me introduce him. Brandon Clayman serves as a lead marketing advisor at Humanities Team and founded the award-winning marketing agency Conscious Commerce Corporation to provide clients with a 360-degree view of their business, brand, and industry. He brings 30-plus years of experience in e-business, and his expert awareness, solution expertise, and outcomes-based approach allows companies to leverage all of the digital channels available to them. And welcome, Brandon.
Thank you, brother Steve. It's a pleasure to be here and be part of this co-creative community. Humanities Team is my favorite nonprofit of all time. And I'm so grateful to see the growth and to be part of it and to recognize all of the team members, you know, from all the different countries and the core team. So thank you. I'll just jump into it. What I'm going to do is share my screen and give you guys some insight on the website performance and website traffic. And let me just make sure that everybody can see my screen here. All right. Are we good? You can hopefully see this view of Google Analytics. Yeah. Nod your head if it's good. You can see. Okay, cool. I wanted to take sort of a year of data just to make it easier to help us understand what we're looking at. So in the last, so this is from May 1st to April 30th, May 1st, 2024 to April 30th. This is the timeline that I'm using to show you guys this information. And we had over 750,000 visitors to our website. And this is the website here. So our main humanitiesteam.org, which incorporates our streaming platform as well in here. And the website visits, you can see that the way it works in our digital reporting is that we have several sources. We're all spiritual here, so think of the chakra system as like a source. And there's several different sources of how we generate website visitors. That's what traffic really is. So 759,000 visitors coming to our website. That's about around just over 63,000 visits a month in the last year. So this is a lot of different channels that are coming in. Email marketing, even back in the early days, has always been a strong contributing force for our visitors coming to our website and engaging our offerings, our programs, whether they're free signups or paid programming, Global Oneness Day. There's a lot of different things that our email marketing channel does for Humanities Team. And then there's also, we're doing a lot on social media. Some of the other team members are going to get into more detail, but I wanted to show you the big numbers here from the website perspective and where we incorporate all of that traffic from. Think of the website as the consolidation, the collective consciousness of behind all the digital marketing that we're doing, because ultimately that's where we all end up inside of our web experience. We do lots on Google advertising. We also have grant programs that we're part of, which is great to see how we're able to acquire more website visitors and attention to this important global oneness mission that we're all on together. We get organic traffic. Again, some of the team members are going to go deeper into all of this. There's also video that we're seeing. Like, these are visitors coming from watching our videos on YouTube and other channels that are coming back to our website. So that's really awesome, because if they see something on YouTube and they're interested and they want to learn more, then they come to our website by clicking on the description of a video. They'll click on a link that brings them back to our website. So that's one high level overview. There's over 10 sources of traffic. And then in terms of pages, like how many actual views we've received from the overall visits, we've had over 1.3 million page views. So that's, around 2.5 views per visit. And this is incorporating all of the different website pages that we have on the main website. So there's a lot of different pages. You can see that there's Global Oneness Day, there's master classes. These are some of the pages that are very popular, like people coming to browse all of the available courses and offerings. That's why you see these specific pages. Now, I'm trying not to get too technical, but we've had a lot of signups, a lot of, you can see here, there's one of our more popular programs, Forbidden Science. We have lots of different pages that are being viewed and a lot of different offerings, and they all are providing and contributing towards the overall success of what we're doing. And back in the day, we never had this kind of information, nor do we have all these pages and all these programs and offerings. So as we've evolved to be a little bit more digital and virtual, it makes it easier for us to make business choices, to figure out what works and what's better and how to actually grow and evolve the business. And this view, you guys can see, is actually showing all of the countries that have visited our website. And you can see, like, the United States is 61% of our traffic. Canada has always been a strong partner and player. The UK, these are the typical, uh, no surprises here. But if you keep scrolling, you'll see that there are over 200 countries that have come to visit our website in the last year, which is absolutely incredible. I know Steve was referencing our country leaders. I think we have over 60, I don't have the exact number, country coordinators. I used to be Canada's country coordinator, then stepped into the global positions and stuff. But to see that we've had over 200 countries from, on our planet visit our website, which is phenomenal. And we try our best to accommodate multiple languages and work to translate our content because we do want to become as accessible as possible. So that's a pretty cool metric as well to be aware of in the last while. And what else do I got for you? Event types. These are things that people do on our website. So we can track, they're doing page views. They are first visitors. We've got lots of new visits coming, which is also good. We're getting past the fence of the choir. We're going beyond the regular people who already know about being spiritual. And that's been a big challenge in our mission, is how do we awaken our neighbors, our friends, our family? It's been a challenge for all of us. So this is good to see that we have a lot of new visitors coming. And this shows you here masterclass purchases. Steve was mentioning some of the financial data. We've had a lot of activity there, which is fantastic, and lots of other little sort of trackable events that you can see in here as well. So we do look at user experiences. What are people doing on the website, and how best to accommodate their experience with us and improve that experience. There's a lot of changes that take place on the website on a regular basis, and the whole team's involved in this process. And we track the user experiences and try to improve all of the engagements so that we're doing things to improve the ability for people to enroll in our programs, make it easier for them, provide us with their information and so on and so forth. So it's all being looked at and analyzed and focused on. One last little thing here, and then I'll wrap it up, is just to show you we have a lot of mobile visitors, just over 54% of our total traffic in the last year is on mobile devices. And then we have desktop at 42, tablet and smart TVs are also part of it. Not a lot, but they're in there. Can't track everything, but it is nice to see that we've got this balance of traffic coming through, and very proud of Humanity's team to have witnessed and evolved and been contributing towards this. Originally, it was called the Civil Rights Movement for the Soul, and it's evolved into such a wonderful operation. And Steve has done a phenomenal job of keeping your cool in a crazy world. So thank you for your fearless leadership. And that's all I've got for Google Analytics.
Brandon, thank you. Awesome. Yeah, thank you, brother.
You're welcome, brother.
Very much appreciated. Yeah, Civil Rights Movement for the Soul, which just means that the soul knows its place in the world, right? So this whole conscious living thing, we're moving from the logic center of our mind to the wisdom center of our soul, right? So that still is huge. As we know, this is why Carissa started us with some breaths, right? Where we come into this breathing space, which kind of gets us right centered, right here, heart and soul level, connected in reverence, right? So thank you. Thank you for taking us into the data here. So we're just getting started. There's more data that we want to take you through. I want to now introduce Juicy Life, who is our brilliant tech leader here in Humanities team. So Juicy Life serves as tech lead for Humanities team, where he spent the past 2 years building the core infrastructure, scaling their global streaming platform, Humanity Stream Plus. He has over 10 years of experience in research and development in both city and intention community contexts, and is currently running a platform called Actualize Earth, a ticketing platform, a thriving community, and a tool for personal and collective growth. And Juicy bases himself right here in Boulder, Colorado. Juicy, welcome.
Hey, Steve. Hello, global family of humanities team. So grateful to be here. This is a blessing and an opportunity to show up in my gifts and my power in contribution to this mission of conscious living being pervasive by 2040. It is my archetypal mission, which is why I took on the name Juicy Life as an archetypal name to remind people of the juiciness of life and the beauty that we can create when we come together for this greater mission. So with Humanities team over the last couple of years, I've been, as Steve introduced, supporting with the technical side of things and helping to bring together some more of the data so that we can, what Steve often points to is creating a data-driven ecosystem. So I have a bit to share with you, and I'll share my screen here. So this is a custom admin portal that I built for Humanities team. And we have a lot of different types of information sources that are feeding this, but I'll just keep it high level for you. We have a number of different master classes, as has been pointed out before. And this view shows us the amount of money that is coming in based on each of these different master classes as sales. And we have what is really important in any marketing campaign is understanding the funnel, which is we bring people into the sign up page and then we go to the viewing page and the sales page. So we can see in each of these different master classes how many sign up views to how many signups to the conversion percent that happens to the number of purchase page views to the number of purchases to the purchase conversion, as well as linking to our current and old sales system. We just went through a big transition of going through a transition from using Vimeo or VHX as our streaming platform to Uscreen, which I'll cover here in a moment, but creating the bridge between the both so that we can continue from the data that we've seen before to the new data that we have so that we can create these data-driven insights. So we can, again, see how many purchases have happened in each of these master classes and rebills and the total number of new accounts that have happened from each of these different sign-up pages as well. Now, what's even very nice about this is that we can actually drive into each masterclass and then look at our affiliates and see how our affiliates are doing. So we have a global partnership with both the facilitators and many other people who are supporting and promoting the Humanities Stream platform. And so we have some very good analytics because it's an integrated system to understand not just on a masterclass level, but also on the affiliate level, how we are driving traffic and how and which, which of the affiliates are supporting and driving traffic and what they're doing and who's doing well and what they're doing to do very well. So we have this as well in our sales stats. So we can drive in and select our time range and say in the last 3 months, which products have been bringing in the money, and we can see the breakdown of it as well, which affiliates are driving the most traffic, and which masterclasses are driving the traffic, and using UTM parameters, which is a common marketing thing of seeing which traffic sources are generating data. So we have a very good eyes into where is driving traffic, the funnel of which is happening, and the outcomes that are happening from it. One of the other things I want to call out is this really awesome map that we have. I'm a map builder, and so I love the overview effect of being able to look at the Earth with no borders and no boundaries. And we can see in the last month the global impact that we've had around the world and where people are tuning in from. So this is really, really cool. I also have a really fun little project that I made for the Global Oneness Summit in 2023. And this is the real-time view of where people are tuning in around the world. So this is almost like a weather view of consciousness from around the world of where people were tuning in from at that exact moment during the Global Oneness Summit. And you can see as we're going through the time and the day, these little images pop up, and that was the program that was showing at that time. I also want to call out our affiliate system, and we have a custom affiliate portal for every single person who's an affiliate to also see and track their progress. So this, for example, is Greg Braden's, and we can see the number of page views that he's been driving in each of these different areas, the number of signups that have happened, as well as the number of purchases that have happened from his affiliate promotion, as well as for affiliates to be able to see all the different masterclasses that they can promote and being able to copy their links so that they can support in driving their traffic. And as I mentioned, we switched to a new streaming platform that is much more integrated. It has community features, which I'm sure has been talked about before. I don't need to get into great detail, but they have a very advanced analytics system for us to see an overview of which top videos, who are the top viewers. We can break things down by watch times, um, how many hours people are watching the viewers. We can see the watch time over time. We can even break things down based on country, who's tuning in from different countries. And they have this really nice global map as well. So we can see who's watching from these different countries. And we can also look at our subscription statistics, how many active subscribers that we have, our monthly recurring revenue, breakdown of the growth rates, looking at churn. So that's essentially when somebody starts a subscription and stops. So we've been seeing that actually go down over time, which is really good. People are keeping their subscriptions. Yeah, there's a lot in this. We can even drive into sales and look at how our sales have been happening over time. This gives us a really great view into how we are performing at all these different levels, from viewing statistics to purchase statistics to churn. We can even drive into the community analytics, which we have, again, this community section. So you can see how many people are using it, how many posts are happening, and the engagement channels that are happening, and the viewers that are, or the users that are most engaged in this. And then we can also look at things like the heat map of when people are tuning in and using the platform and things like that. So I feel like that's pretty high level, but the last thing I want to call out is one of the missions that we have in the humanities team of making conscious living pervasive, which includes everybody on the planet. So I also built this masterclass transcription and subtitle system so that we have 74 different languages that we can subtitle to all the different masterclasses to make this available to everybody around the planet. And we have a number of our country coordinators, of the 69 country coordinators, and other volunteers who are helping us go through and edit these different language transcriptions. So I feel like that is kind of the high level of some of the different statistics and functionalities and features that I've been working on behind the curtain on the back end on my end. Anything else you'd like me to share, Steve?
No, fantastic. Juicy, thank you. That was brilliant. As you can see, Juicy's a genius, creating all of these systems here for us, and such a huge heart. Yeah, and even changed his name from Tom Bassett to Juicy Life, and because that's conscious living, right? It's joyful. It's juicy. So, Juicy, thank you, brother. Much appreciated. Let me share as I introduce then our next leader from Humanities team, Karen Watson, that, I mentioned there are three things we're raising funds for, actually more than that, but the three big ones are one, to take our subscriber base, which is about 3,000 now, to 100,000. The other one is the United Nations effort, and the other one is to put funds to the 69 country coordinators. That first one, 100,000 subscribers, one of the things we share is that uh, philanthropy that is focused on consciousness raising, which is this first domino. It's the causal factor thing, that separation actually, as we know, is the we call it the first domino. It's the source of all of these challenges that are out in the world where we think we're alone and not connected to anything. That's what creates the anxiety and the depression and the transactional living and all of these things. Um, so part of what we're after is to increase subscribers to 100,000 so that in Jeffrey Moore speak, we cross the chasm where our profile is larger. This notion of the moonshot to create a sustainable and flourishing planet by simply knowing and living into our oneness. This is huge. It's important. This is what leads us to the 2040 tipping point thing. Is just emerging, raising our profile, raising this notion, this awareness that ultimate reality really is oneness, right? That's the moonshot as you reserve for like the big thing that philanthropy accomplishes. Like cancer, healing cancer is considered a moonshot. All right, this is a bigger moonshot than that. This is the moonshot of just raising awareness that the Newtonian, Darwinian way that we grew up, where we live transactionally and think that we're separate from everything, simply is false. And of course, as we know, science is all over this now. But in the mainstream, there isn't a public awareness. So this is the big thing we're focused on. And then, of course, through all of these master classes, these beautiful ways that we can live consciously, joyously, in service with an open heart, all of these things. Okay, let's go ahead and bring on now Karen Watson. Karen serves as the co-director of operations, design, and marketing at Humanities Team and joined Humanities Team in 2022 following her early retirement from corporate management to pursue more creative and personally meaningful opportunities. Her goal is to make a difference every day through collaborative and compassionate relationships and to achieve shared goals with a sense of adventure and fun. And Karen accomplishes that. And she's huge in our world here in Humanities Team. Karen, thank you for coming on screen and looking forward to you taking us through your data.
All right. Thank you, Steve. And thank you all for being here. I'd like to share some information, maybe not so much data as Juicy and Brandon shared, but some important information related to our marketing processes to kind of allow you to understand the process that happens around here and how we get to some of these great results that Brandon and Juicy shared. For nearly a year now, we've been partnering with an amazing marketing firm, Scale for Impact, who brings a lot of experience to the table that's specifically related to our industry. A lot of the folks there previously worked for Mind Valley, who you know is a huge player in this space. We meet with that team weekly, but are in constant communication with them to produce high converting web pages, paid advertising on Facebook, using different graphics, promotion videos. It's a really hands-on approach. The advertising lead over at Scale for Impact, Wayne, monitors our advertising campaigns daily, probably hourly, based on the kinds of feedback that he gives us, just to make sure that we're reaching out to the right audiences, that the graphics we're using are effective, that people are responding to them. And then he adjusts the spend on the campaigns as we go. So if something's really bottoming out, it's not getting a lot of attention, he moves the money to the ones that are getting attention and are more successful. So I'm going to share a page. This is actually a roll-up. This is a 3-month view of the type of information we talk with Wayne as a team about on a regular basis, at least once a week, oftentimes twice a week. But he shares how each campaign is doing. So these are the names of our master classes or an advertising campaign, what we've spent, and what the ROAS is. So we're looking for a ROAS, which is a return on ad spend. We're looking for at least 1.0 means we've made back the money that we spent 100%. So anything over 1 is profit that we intend to roll back into campaigns so that we can keep spending more, reaching more people, finding new people who do not already know about Humanities Team or Stream Plus, and to engage them. That's kind of our main issue, is the people who know us love us, but enough people do not know us. They haven't heard of us. And so we are constantly working with Wayne to find those people through advertising on Facebook. And the next slide here shows, if you're familiar with Facebook at all, you know there's all different kinds of audiences. So Wayne continues to test different audiences with our advertising. So audiences can be interest-based, which are the ones he's using. They can also be geographical or age categories or countries. So this report shows the interest groups that have responded to our advertising. And so, like I said, we're just constantly looking for the sweet spot in our advertising and testing to have the right combination of audiences, graphics, videos, messages to bring people to the platform. And Scale for Impact has been a great partner almost a year now to help us improve in this space. So another area of marketing, I would call it, is search engine optimization, SEO. We partnered earlier this year with Stefan Spencer's organization, Net Concepts, to help us with our SEO. SEO attributes are what allows Google to scan and identify your website so that when people are out there doing searches on the internet and putting in, words or information they're looking for, that our page would actually come up. And historically, our page has not come up. Our SEO has not been great. So Stefan Spencer is a member of our board of advisors. He essentially wrote the book, the 700-page book on SEO. And we at Humanities Team have just not had the bandwidth nor the expertise to do SEO optimization. So we engaged with his group for a 3-month project where they came in, they analyzed the website, all different aspects of the website, the content, the blogs, the page design, metadata, the technical aspects, and made recommendations on what we needed to do differently. And it's a wide range of things, from how you say things on the page to using keywords to the image sizes, like how big your images are, a lot of different things. They gave us practically a book of recommendations that we are working on implementing. But the good news was, while they were with us for those 3 months, they implemented a lot of their own recommendations. Everything that they could kind of do for us, they did. And the good news there, on the next page, is that you'll see, I know this is, all you have to look at is the trend, but this is our click-through rates and our organic keyword results. As you can see, this is like February time frame. We were kind of flat and going down. As they started to implement their own recommendations, these numbers started to trend upwards. The same here with the keywords. And so it's on us now to continue to implement these changes that they've recommended. It's a kind of a long-term project. It's not something that you can just swoop in and do these things overnight. We are starting to implement them as we go forward and trying to go back and change some things from the past. But it's a lot for a small team. And we always need additional hands in this area because it's technical, repetitive work that we simply haven't had the bandwidth to accomplish. But we're working on it. And so those are my updates kind of from the marketing area. Thank you again for being here, and back to you, Steve.
Karen, thank you. That was stunning, taking us through all of that social media and SEO, those results. And Karen is just a really valued member of our team, a beautiful soul, as you can see and feel, I'm sure, during her presentation. Let me share something. I'm going to introduce Ross Hostetter, who you all probably know. He does many things in the humanities team. He's a strategic advisor and is so gifted and supports us in so many ways. But before I introduce him, I want to just share something, because in the chat, people are saying, well, who are the people in this space? You know, Mind Valley and Gaia and things like this. There's Shift Network, there's Sounds True and things. I want to bring forward, I'm going to use a business term, differentiation here. So, because sometimes even people close to us, Ross and I will be out meeting with people who are looking at us strategically, and they'll say, well, you know, why not just, you know, if Mind Valley just kind of carries this thing, why is there a need for a humanities team? Or Gaia, you know, why is there a need for a humanities team? So let me share something, and then, you know, process this yourself with kind of your own worldview. Uh, we are the only nonprofit in this transformational education space. These other organizations are for profit, some aiming to go public, uh, and we're a nonprofit. These other organizations offer excellent programs in personal development. And you'll see as they're promoting, you know, there's that you can create a joyous life for yourself and these things. You can manifest abundance, and, you know, manifesting actually is the big area, focus area for the for-profit organizations. Humanities Team was founded as a global undertaking, as a movement. Without, it's not focused on top line results or bottom line results. Our movement was focused on ultimate reality, you know, from the very beginning in 2003, where we said this is important. We weren't saying it was urgent then. It is urgent today, but we were saying it's important. We understand that separation is a fiction, and if the human path here on the planet Earth is going to unfold in a direction to where kids and future generations can enjoy a sustainable and flourishing planet, then we need to, not only individually through personal development, but collectively as a movement, we need to set our sights on a tipping point, and even a date for the tipping point, 2040, when a tipping point, of course, means that it's like bubbles in a boiling pot. The pot goes to full boil after the bubbles come up at tipping point. The tipping point is when there are enough of us living consciously in this space of connection, of reverence, of oneness, that others are feeling the beauty of this, the blessing, the joy of it, the healthiness of it, that they embrace this way of living too. So we're not focused just on personal development. We're a global movement focused on a tipping point, on 2040, on a whole new way of living on the earth, where we steward the earth. We're in service. We're open-hearted. We can't do everything, but we can do something, right? So that's the big differentiator. Nonprofit focused on a collective result, yes, with personal development. Our personal development, incidentally, doesn't swerve in the direction of just manifesting financial abundance. We don't have classes like that. We're manifesting, yes, but manifesting beautiful lives. And yes, that there are good things that come back. Our families are blessed, and abundance does come to us. But it's through this connection and reverence and oneness and love and service that all of this happens. Okay, so just wanted to bring that in because it's an important distinction. It's why we're here, because we wouldn't be on this mission where we feel that, candidly, there's you've seen the movies, right? The documentaries. There's a sixth great mass extinction ahead, right? If we don't change the way that we live on the planet. Our Planet, an award-winning documentary series. There are many of them. When you Google, they talk about a sixth great mass extinction, but they say we're the mammals, humankind is in the lead, and we have the ability to change our minds, change our path, change our way of living. That's what we are. That's what this movement is that we can do this. We are doing this. It's underreported, but we all, ourselves, friends, coworkers, we all know that we're becoming more conscious. So, a really important distinction, uh, because in our view, the documentaries are probably right. If we don't change our way of living on the planet, what is out there for our kids and future generations? We're not going to worry about that, but we're going to put a whole lot of focus on living this way ourselves, inviting others to live this way, a subscription platform and community that supports the whole earth, the 8 billion people understanding that they're part of humanity's team too. Okay, so now let me introduce Ross Hostetter. Ross Hostetter serves as the lead strategist and legal representative at Humanity's Team and is a lawyer, entrepreneur, father, and author among several other joy-filled roles. After creating 2 conscious communities with his soul partner, Mary, Ross has now committed much of his professional life to peacemaking and serves as counsel for global nonprofits who work to regenerate the earth and raise human consciousness. And Ross, welcome to the program.
Okay, thank you, Steve. So I'm increasingly realizing, as one of the older guys in the room, that when we're talking about tech, when I was starting out, what tech was a phone that was hooked to the wall with a cord, a rotary dial, a black and white television set with rabbit ears that was about the size of the screen that I'm looking into now, and a paper boy that came around on a bicycle and threw a local paper onto the porch. And that was how we found out what was happening, in the world. Channels would go off at 10 o'clock at night and not come back on until 9 o'clock the next morning. There'd just be nothing there. And so when you wanted to find out what was going on in the world in a situation like that, you walked outside the door, you looked at the sky, you looked at, the kids playing in the street. So we are now in an evolution of technology, and to have an organization that has a global mission like Humanity's Team, it's essential that it uses the tools that are available. Okay, it's important to be able to use the World Wide Web, where we can reach all of the people all over the world and all the countries of the world. And every time I see somebody coming in from Uzbekistan or Saudi Arabia or Iran, you just like there's something about the global reach that is really important. And the information that we've been providing on this call here is for a funder is basically just to show you that a dollar that comes in the door is going to be used with a lot of precision and with a lot of intelligence to be able to build this organization into a self-sustaining organization where its revenues are enough that it can sustain itself long term over time. And Humanity's Team is taking huge strides to be able to do that. And we're doing this in a way on the web that is quite a bit different than the way that other people do it. We don't sell anybody any advertising. We're not, with, what, 700,000 or a million hits, we're not like taking people off to buy T-shirts and Lululemon pants or whatever we could do with all of that traffic and all of that information. We're keeping it very high and very clean, not selling sex and violence and all of that sort of thing. And that's a challenge to keep the mission clean. I think Humanity's Team really does that. But why I wanted to start with the story about where I started was that's where this story is going to end. When we find out the things that are relevant to people, we give people the tools that are necessary, people that want to learn about the quantum field and how that affects their lives, people that want to expand their multidimensional intelligence and how to do that, or how to cook, or how to heal themselves, or how to heal their families. It's something that's relevant to them at a particular moment in time, to put something into their consciousness that is going to help them. And when that happens, it all goes back to where it started, which is hand to hand, face to face, eye to eye, with your spouse, with your kids, with the people in your communities. And that is where the difference is actually made, and that's where it's actually felt. So the mission of Humanity's Team is that final result. Okay, it's not to build huge web platforms. That's the means. It's not the end. So we try to begin with the end in mind, and the web is just a huge tool to be able to reach people. But we're also expanding, to the hand-to-hand things in our conferences, into immersive experiences, and I just want to kind of invite everybody to come hang out with us. It's a good space to be in, and also to just remember that the real work is out in the world. It's still looking at the sky. It's still looking at the leaves and at the eyes of your child. So that's what we're after. And Steve, I'll close with that.
Beautiful. What a beautiful way to close, Ross. That is true statement. The eyes of the child, nature, the sky, the earth. Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. And you can leave Ross on here with me. I know we've gone over. Some people are going to need to leave, but let's do, if there are questions or testimonies or anything that anybody wants to bring in, maybe Jim, D, you could help us if we've got any questions that anybody wants to get to. Let's just stay on a little longer to get to those. And maybe we've covered everything well and we don't have questions here. Okay. And thank you, in the chat, there's been gratitude for all of the speakers. So thanks for doing that. Now gratitude for Ross, following gratitude for Karen, Juicy, and Brandon. All righty. Are we good? Or is there anybody that would like to throw a question at Ross or me? Keep it simple, Ross. You betcha. All right.
Well, there's a simplicity beyond the complexity.
Simplicity beyond the complexity. All right. And Mary Ellen is here with us. That's right. That's a nice way of stating it, Ross.
Right.
Simplicity beyond the complexity. So, Mary Ellen, please, let's bring her in.
Had to unmute first. Okay, I have a question. What does it cost Humanities Stream for a new member to join Stream Plus?
It is $2.99 a year right now.
No. I mean, how much does it cost to you for to have another member? Is it pure profit? Does the $2.99 go straight to the bottom line?
Yeah, the $2.99. So as a nonprofit, we're just taking that money is recycled back into more social media, staff, all of the expenses that we have. So
if we are trying to grow the number of subscribers, rather than just make a donation, wouldn't I be better off gifting a subscription to somebody I know who I think would get something out of it? That way we would grow the subscriber numbers as well as the bottom line.
That's a wonderful and beautiful way to contribute. And in fact, I mentioned Olivia Hanson earlier. We created a gifting function on our website for exactly that purpose, because she wanted to do the same thing. Let me just buy subscriptions for friends and family members.
Right.
So D or Jim, if there's a way to throw that link, I'm not sure if we could grab that right this moment. And if not, maybe we could get back to Mary Ellen with the link that allows people to do that, to
So-
buy a gift subscription for a friend or family member or coworker.
Yeah. So Mary Ellen, I don't know if we answered your first question about what it costs to bring a subscriber on. Was that what your first
Yeah.
question was? So that's a great business question. It's what is your cost of goods sold? Okay.
Right.
And it's the cost of goods sold essentially is our entire budget right now. Because and with the sort of things with online stream subscriptions, it takes a certain amount of infrastructure just to put it out. Okay.
Mhm.
And just to be able to put it out. But one of the reasons why the numbers on stream are so important is that the incremental cost of a subscriber at 100,000 is far less than it is at one. Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So the profitability of the organization, even though it's a nonprofit, we can talk about in business terms the amount of available revenue uh, for the organization will increase dramatically when we grow stream. However, in our case, that isn't going to go in anybody's pocket. It isn't going to pay any owners, and all that incremental revenue will now be poured into the next iteration of growing the global movement, which will be the UN initiative, the country coordinators, and everything like that. So it'll all get poured into the movement. 100% of it will.
Well, then it seems to me like it would make sense to really push people to do that. I mean, that kills two birds with one stone, so to speak, increasing the number of subscribers and increasing the bottom line.
Yep, and that's why when we put our 3 goals in the year, that increasing the subscribers is number one of those.
Okay.
UN second, and then the country coordinators once we get that that number up. So yes, that's a very high priority, and we'd
Great.
love to have your help with it.
You got it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, Mary Ellen, thanks for coming on screen.
Sure.
Gratitude. All right, and it looks like Chantel has a question here, or has her hand up.
Yes, hi. Yeah, thanks for letting me ask. I was curious yesterday, and thank you, Eva, for inquiring with me after the meeting about the UN. Is there a cost to be on their calendar for like Global Oneness Day?
Well, there's a cost to get on their calendar. We can talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, so
Wow.
that's a good question, Chantel. And again, Olivia Hansen's here with us, boy, she's deep in this project here with us and helping to fund it. So there isn't a direct price tag per se, of like 100,000 or something to get on the UN calendar. But what's needed is the United Nations, of course, it's a family, it's a tribe, and they vote on their initiatives and approve initiatives that the UN will stand by. So what's necessary is that you need to approach the United Nations and find a lead sponsor and other sponsors that say that's really a good idea, that we need a global oneness day. And we will, as a country, we'll get behind it and help reach out to the other countries here at the United Nations to get approval, for this Global Oneness Day. So we've been meeting for over a year now, maybe a year and a half. At this point, we have a supporting sponsor, Costa Rica. They don't have the resources to go in the lead, so we're looking for our lead sponsor still, and we're looking for other supporting sponsors that feel this is really important and that they want to devote the time and resources to make it happen. So the first step is just completing this process where the United Nations votes on it and they approve it and it goes to their calendar. That's the first step. But the second step, and it's why we're raising funds, is even once it's on the UN calendar, that's when you really need to get started. That you want to have people at the UN that are saying, boy, next month, Global Oneness Day is coming up. Let's plan celebrations and educational programs. And also people out in the regions of the world, right, that are getting all kinds of educational and celebration programs ready and then going, at full throttle on the day, which incidentally, the day that's being recommended is October 25. Today it's October 24, which is also United Nations Day. So that's kind of what's going on. I'm not sure if Olivia is still here. If she is, we could bring her in and she could talk about this. She's again very involved in this initiative to get Global Oneness Day on the United Nations calendar. Diane Williams is our lead right now at the United Nations. She moved from The Hague over in Europe to New York City. She now has a studio apartment overlooking the United Nations. And this is one of her big projects, is to just help meet with these different ambassadors at the United Nations and to cultivate support for Global Oneness Day, and then a vote, and then hopefully a unanimous vote or something close to that. And then part one is done, but then part two is getting the support out all over the world for this day, so that, like Earth Day, when Earth Day comes, we all know it's Earth Day, right? Or International Day of Peace. These are big global days. And likewise, we see the same thing for Global Oneness Day, that we know it's October 25, it's Global Oneness Day, and we're doing things with our kids and programs in the community and celebration events and all kinds of stuff.
That sounds wonderful. Like a wonderful initiative. And I like how you said whoever's working on it is their apartment. They can see the United Nations. That's kind of like, sounds very manifesting.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
thank you.
we're meeting right now twice a month. There was a meeting Tuesday this week. I actually had to miss that meeting because I was in Indianapolis, but we're meeting twice a month. And oh boy, you should be on these calls. This is going to happen. This day will happen at the United Nations. This is a brazen, devoted, courageous group that's saying it's time. We're going to make it happen.
I believe it. And it's necessary. So thank you.
It is. It is. It's ultimate reality, right? So let's help elevate it to the ultimate
Into
reality level.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chantel. Thank you for coming on screen with us. All right, and I think we maybe looks like we maybe got to the questions that are here. Oh no, Linda. And if people need to leave, feel free to leave. Looks like Linda has her hand up, so let's go ahead and bring her in if that's okay. Linda, welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Ross. Hi to everybody, Steve. Just in hearing you speak, so they're not completely the same goals, but aligned goals with potential strategic partners. There's the Festival of Consciousness in Barcelona happening next month. And they have a conference of scientists first, all of whom are exploring consciousness, and then a Festival of Consciousness. So I don't know if you're aware of that, and that I mean, you have the same goal. So why not reach out and see if you can create strategic partnerships of mutual support, which I'm all about. And then the other one is the folks running Local Futures, which is, in my opinion, also a beautiful movement that is global in span. And for instance, for them, June is relocalizing month, i.e. taking steps towards making our economies be more set in place versus having corporations dictate how our lives are run. So just those two just came up as I was thinking, how else can you reach out? Just a thought. I just wanted to offer it up.
No,
Thank
Linda,
you.
thank you. And we're participating in the Festival of Consciousness. If you go look at the speakers, I'm a speaker.
I didn't see your name, sorry.
Yeah, no. They let me record my message. And then David, our country coordinator in the UK, will be there live. So we are participating. Nassim Harriman, as you know, is one of the huge speakers there, who's a close friend. And there's even, after the Festival of Consciousness, David and a few others from Humanities team are going to go off to kind of meet and talk, and because they're a really huge, important partner for us. So that is a great festival, and we were delighted to be able to be part of that.
And then the other one that just occurred to me, there's the modality of Psyche, which I work with, and they have reached globally as well. So Duccio Locati, he may be again somebody that you can reach out to and see whether he would be, and if you want that contact, I have Duccio's contact. Yeah, it's time. It's time for a shift. We need each other. We need mutual support. And, in listening to people speak right now, people need hope, especially in this country, well, everywhere, but in this country, very specifically, people need hope. And that's what Humanities Team is offering. So, yeah.
Amen. Yeah, amen. And the good news is, and hope is right here, right now. And hopefully our program, that this
Yeah.
program can feel hopeful, because how could you have Buddha and Christ and Abraham and Moses and Joseph Smith and, Muhammad and blah, 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 blah. How could all of these come and then we just fell off a cliff and it was over? I don't think so. Now the light always wins, right? So we do we want to be honest and talk about what is so, but our mission is hopeful, and we absolutely believe we will be successful.
Oh, I have no doubt. And the final one that I don't know how that would work, or if I'm kind of clutching at straws, just brainstorming, is the telepathy tapes, talking to Kai and seeing whether she would be able to present Humanities Team, as I'm assuming everybody knows this is about the autistic nonverbal children that are basically here to remind us who we are, is how I see it. And somehow joining forces with her, because last I heard it was the most listened to podcast in the world at this point, and she's doing the sequel. So that could be another possibility. Just putting things out.
Yeah, introduce us if you would, Linda. Why don't you put your email address in the chat, and then you mentioned a couple of partners you'd like to introduce us to, and please do. We would love to be introduced.
Okay, that'll be a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
On screen, Linda.
just to add into what you're saying, Linda, the kind of the old style method of spreading the word is you walk out your front door and down the street and you go out and talk to people. Okay.
Yeah.
And now globally, it does require funding for that, just to send somebody out, put them in a hotel room, pay a little airfare, bus fare, whatever we're going to do, put them on a stage. A lot of these folks, these other organizations, they can't afford to pay a speaker and things like that. So, but we do want to do that. And Steve is out running around. I'm doing the same thing, to the extent of our abilities and our time. But that is a really essential thing, to send out ambassadors.
Yeah. And
Exactly.
and I think because so many of us are becoming aware that we're at that critical point of change, that there may be openings that perhaps were not available in the past that are becoming available now.
Right.
So that's just my sense of it. So, and I could be wrong, and it's okay. But I couldn't resist the temptation of asking or offering that possibility if you hadn't thought about it. So
Well, thank you.
thank you so much again for everything.
Thank you, Linda. Thanks for coming on screen with us. All righty. And we've gone pretty well over. I'm just looking for hands up. I think maybe we're good here. So
any other questions, or anybody that's still on? Any thoughts? Thank you. I see some good friends here. Thank you, Marge, for being here. Lucy, for being here. Thank you so much, everybody.
yeah, thank you all. We together we can, and we are. We are together. We're Humanities Team, and let's focus on this work like our kids' lives depend on it, because they do. Okay, you all. Love and peace and blessings, and join us. Every Wednesday we have live programs. On Thursday, if you're a stream member, we're doing what was mentioned. We're doing a viewing party right now for this new masterclass called Higher Self, Higher Purpose, Unlock the Power Within. And we've got a good community coming in every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Eastern. So we've got about 9 more programs on Thursdays. So join us. And thank you.